Hey, what's going on, guys? Flick here, and welcome back to another episode of the Southampton Career Mode. We have a lot to get through today, so I won't be starting off with a press conference. Rather, I'll look to have one in the next episode, so if you are interested, go ahead and leave a press conference question down in the comment section below. I'll look through them and pick a couple to answer in the next video. But one of the agenda items for today will be closing out the summer transfer window, and if we take a look at our budget allocation, we have 10 million in the transfer budget, 80 grand in the wages, so that's plenty of money to bring in 1, 2, or even 3 players to the team with the amount of time we have left. And I asked you guys in the last video which one of these 5 players we should look to sign, and Jordan Ibe did win that vote. I think that was a great choice because we are a bit limited at that winger position, so Jordan Ibe could fill that role. However, I have been putting some thought into it, and in my opinion, having 2 highly rated goalkeepers in Fraser Forster at 78 rated and Alex McCarthy at 77 rated, one of them are going to go to waste. So why not sell one of them and then look to bring in a younger goalkeeper in Jordan Pickford? And some of you guys were asking me to sell Fraser Forster, bring in a higher rated goalkeeper like Timo Horn, a couple other shouts in there, but I want to keep some integrity of the original Southampton team. Fraser Forster's been here for a couple of seasons, and although there has been interest shown by some big name clubs like Dortmund, I'm going to look to sell Alex McCarthy and bring in Jordan Pickford. If after those 2 transfers we have additional money to spend, then I will look to pick up a striker, and I have 2 options available: Joel Asoro from Sunderland and Thierry Ambrose, who we had on loan last season from Manchester City. I think both would be good additions to the team, and we'll see which deal is accepted. Right away, I will be putting in a bid for Jordan Ibe. Our CEO says he's worth between 4.5 and 5.1 million, but I'll be starting with a market value bid of 3.7 million. Sometimes you can pick up these players on the cheap, and with Bournemouth being in the championship, I think they could use this money, so this deal very well could happen. As for Jordan Pickford, I know I want to sell Alex McCarthy, but we would have to wait for transfer bids to come in for him, so I thought, why not just do a straight swap? They have a pretty equal market value. McCarthy's is slightly higher, but Jordan Pickford has a much higher potential, so I feel like this is a deal that works out for both parties. We'll see if Sunderland agree to the terms. Now, before we do get into our first match of the episode against West Ham United, I wanted to highlight a comment from Jake. He said that Tadic is more well suited at the left wing position than right wing, so I'm going to make a pretty simple change. Just swap Tadic and Boufal, and this should allow us to have some players in a more comfortable position. Boufal can play at that right wing spot, really anywhere along the front line. He's such a versatile player that has a good weak foot, so I'm hoping Tadic does perform a bit better at left wing. And for those of you wondering, I know it is early stages in the Premier League season, but we're doing all right in the league. Currently 4 points from 2 games, and if we were to win our next match, that could put us up to 3rd or even 2nd. As for West Ham United, they're not off to a hot start, currently in 20th. I know from past experience that the West Ham home kit and our away kit just don't work well together, so West Ham will be using their away kit and we'll also be using our away kit. But looking at the team management, it's pretty much identical to what I just showed you, so let's get right into the match. To be honest, it stumps me how West Ham is off to such a poor start. Their team is largely unchanged from last season, but I've seen this from a couple of different career modes. Teams like Arsenal are in the relegation zone, so I think that does need a little bit of fixing from EA, but we'll push on and not underestimate them. I have been looking over the feedback from the last few episodes, and I'll be trying to shape how I do edit these videos for you guys, including more chances from the opposition and just more chances in general, not just the goals we do score. But right away, we already have a chance to get the goal. It was Kovalenko to shoot. He hit that one wide. It was from a tough angle and from a tough position, but I expected him to do better. We're just dominating the passing play in the middle, and Kevin Volland is making that run. We'll look to find him, and another pass over to Kovalenko. Some great build-up play, and that will be the first goal of the game. We saw it coming from a mile away, and it's Victor Kovalenko. Probably has been our best transfer this season, and I would say in this entire career mode. He is off to such a strong start, and for only 15 million, he's been quite the player. Now it's a chance for West Ham United and Antonio to make his mark on the game. We know he has pace and dribbling ability. The shot is finally made, but Virgil van Dijk not taking any chances, and we'll clear that one away. Again, it's West Ham. They have a lot more confidence right now, and you can tell from that shot from Lanzini, not testing Fraser Forster, but we need to be careful. All it takes is one opportunity for the CPU, and they could score. Just before halftime, we had a player go down with injury, and it was Cedric. I'm not too concerned because we have a plentiful amount of options at right back, but Cedric is a great player, and it's really a shame that he had to go down with an injury. Luckily, we have a couple of options here on the bench. I'll be going with Harrison Reed, who will provide a little bit more pace pace than Jose Font. We'll get one more chance before the halftime break. Ward-Prowse looking to play through to Kovalenko. It's a great ball, and if Kovalenko can somehow get by Agbana, could have been an opportunity, but West Ham finally do collect, and we'll go into the halftime break. Overall, we've been the dominant team. West Ham had a couple of opportunities here and there, but we dictated the play in the midfield, and you can tell that we invested a lot of our transfers into the midfield, in Schneiderlin and Kovalenko, and I'm hoping that the stats do back that up. We'll take a look at them. And according to the stats, 59% of the possession. That's what I like to see. Let's keep it going for the next 45 minutes. There's something so fluid about this 4-2-3-1 formation that it gives options all around you to create opportunities. Morgan Schneiderlin looking to do so now. Playing into the middle. Kevin Volland on the volley. We'll look to finish that one. But again, going wide. Similar to the Kovalenko chance we had earlier in the game. And we just need to provide a little bit more time for our players to get their footing right and get the shot on target. Oh, Kovalenko, good steal. He's just going to run this to the byline and look to whip it in the middle. Gets taken out in the process. And I think he saw Agbana coming and just took the tackle. We'll get the penalty kick, try to make it 2-0 and close out this match. Dusan Tadic is the best penalty taker on our team, so we'll let him run up. I'd like to finish this one off to the right. I won't be moving my analog stick this time, and Tadic will bury it. We'll make some changes now with the 2-goal lead and just get our substitutes some playtime. For those changes, it will be Jay Rodriguez being brought on for Dusan Tadic and Ward-Prowse coming off, Højbjerg coming on. It's a good ball played by West Ham, and Sacco finally getting a shot on target. Fair play. We're just going to clear this one away because West Ham failed to get many chances in this match, at least so far. So I won't be taking any risks from the back line, and we just need to win this header. Well done. We'll recollect possession. Kovalenko plays it out to our fullback, and we'll get the attack going again. Not much time left in this one, but the West Ham defense is nowhere to be found, and Boufal just needs to use his pace and get by this last defender. Cutting it back inside. Has the option in Harrison Reed. One more pass in the middle. Will find Schneiderlin, and now Højbjerg to shoot this one. Great block by Nordveit. But Kovalenko finishing that one on the far post, and that is a second goal for him, a third goal in the game, and just a dominant performance by Southampton. You can tell from kickoff that we would be the dominant side today, and the statistics do show that. Player ratings wise, it could go to a number of players, but with 2 goals, it went to Victor Kovalenko, a 9.2 rating for him, and that'll give us so much confidence going into our next fixture. We've got news on the Cedric injury. He did suffer a broken ankle, and he will be out for 3 months, and this could provide an opportunity for Eric Aguirre. He's been asking for more play time, and I think this is just the right time for him to step up. We've got word back from both Bournemouth and Sunderland. Neither team did accept our initial offers, but Sunderland are interested in McCarthy, so that's a good sign. We'll have to include some extra cash on top of him, but that's not too big of a deal. But we will start with Jordan Ibe and the Bournemouth deal, so we'll increase this offer up to $5 million. I feel like this will be accepted, and I'm just hoping so because I don't want to spend too much money on players that aren't yet first team quality. But Jordan Pickford will be first team quality. I'm hoping by the end of this season, you can see he's already 75 rated, and with player training, he's going to grow massively. So we'll include $1 million on top of McCarthy. Well, there you have it, guys. Both transfer deals have now been accepted after initially being declined. So now we have to get into the contract negotiations. Jordan Ibe wants 35 grand a week, which is not too big of a deal. 4 years, and he'll be getting a squad rotational player to start off with. As for Jordan Pickford, I'm guessing he will be receiving a similar offer. We'll see what he does want for the wages, 20 grand a week, so less than Jordan Ibe. He'll be getting 4 years and again, a squad rotational player role. With the Pickford deal on the verge of being completed, I think it's best that we do send off Callum Morgan, a very high potential goalkeeper, out on loan to Cheltenham Town. This will allow him to progress a little bit more, hopefully be 60 rated by the time we get him back, and then maybe by the time Jordan Pickford is the starter, we can put him through some player training and he could be the backup goalkeeper for us. With plenty of time left on transfer deadline day, both of the contract deals have been accepted. Now we can shift our attention to that striker. And like I mentioned earlier, I have 2 targets in mind in Thierry Ambrose and also Joel Asoro. I'll start putting in some bids and see which ones are accepted by Manchester City and also Sunderland. It looks like we're left with a decision to make. Both the transfer deals have been accepted for Joel Asoro. $1 million for him, slightly above his market value, and $2.5 million for Thierry Ambrose, also slightly above his market value. I think I will be going with the Thierry Ambrose deal. He's a player that we are familiar with already. He will be higher on the wages, but he's also higher in his overall, and there's just a greater chance that he'll be eventually fitting into our first team or as a substitute. 4 years will be the deal, and it'll be a squad rotational player role. And with that contract offer accepted, that should conclude the transfer deals we'll be making on transfer deadline day. I'll show you guys the top deals once we do reach the final hour, but I'm very happy with the transfers that we have made. Well, I thought we were done with transfer deals, but Shrewsbury apparently are interested in Adam Cameron, and I'll gladly send him out on loan. As for those top deals, some pretty big ones taking place. Oblak on his way to Arsenal, Boateng to Real Madrid, and Julian Draxler to Barcelona. Looks like La Liga definitely have acquired some fantastic talent, and Arsenal trying to make their case to be Premier League champions come the end of the season. With all the deals that we did make throughout the transfer window, I think it's about time we got into a squad report, and I'm not sure if I've done one yet in Season 2, so we are definitely due for one. And quickly scrolling through, we got a couple players who are unhappy, but as long as we give them some more play time, that should be resolved. But overall, I'm seeing some great growth for some of our higher potential players like Morgan Schneiderlin. It's good to see that even though he's in his upper 20s, he's still growing as a player, especially in those mental stats, which for me is super important for a center defensive midfielder. Same thing for Kevin Volland, and I think if we just keep on giving these players play time, they're going to become world class. And as usual, I'll be giving you an update on our player training alongside our 2 Youth Academy players. We've slotted in Jordan Pickford for Fraser Forster, and instead of Kovalenko, we've now got Jordan Ibe. They should all be growing pretty steadily over the course of this month, and next month we'll switch it up again. A monthly scouting update to get through from Morocco, and scrolling through, we'll see if we can have any more 94 potential players added to the Youth Academy, and El Basir looks like a pretty good one, 79 to 94 potential. That is what we like to see. And looks like he will be one of 2 players added for this month. Yassine also being added. Originally, I did intend on having 3 matches in today's episode, but just judging on how things have gone so far, we've had a lot of action, and I don't want the episode to stretch on too long. So the game against Manchester United will be our final one today, and then we'll get into the EuroLeague in the next episode. Manchester United not off to the best start of the season, but of course they do have some fantastic talent in their team, so it'll be a tough test. We'll be going back to St. Mary's for this one, and our lineup is largely unchanged. I do have a couple of the players that we have signed in the summer transfer window in Jordan Ibe on the bench along with Thierry Ambrose. But that brings me to a point I want to ask you guys in a poll question before this episode does come to a close. And with Jordan Pickford already being the 75 rated, I think he deserves potentially some more game time outside of the cup game. So I'll leave a poll question for you guys right now. Do you think we should feature him in some Premier League games, or should we allow him to grow as a young goalkeeper and allow Fraser Forster to be our full-time starter in the Premier League? One thing that has annoyed me about career mode is the team selection by the CPU. You can see that United are starting Fosu Mensah and Marcus Rashford when they have Paul Pogba and Robert Lewandowski and Zlatan Ibrahimovic on the bench. That's a questionable choice by Jose Mourinho, but already a chance for Manchester United. Our defenders are taking each other out. What are we doing? And Marcus Rashford will not be missing from there. It's 1-0 for Manchester United, only 3 minutes into the game, and an atrocious start for us at St. Mary's. Now Mkhitaryan over to Bastian Schweinsteiger, laying it off to Juan Mata, and Fraser Forster needs to make the save, and that he does. He's been a little bit inconsistent at times, especially in Season 1, but he pulls off a good save there. Here we go, we got Schneiderlin coming up against his former team in Manchester United. Now Boufal using some precise dribbling to cut this one inside. Needs a runner in the middle. It's a great idea. And James Ward-Prowse just about getting there. Unfortunately, though, out for a goal kick. We weren't limited on chances, even though the stats say that we've gotten 2 shots. I feel like we had more opportunities, but they just got closed down before we could get the shot on target. But here at the halftime break, I want to make a few changes. Dusan Tadic suffered a slight injury. It says he's okay, but I don't want to take any risks. And I want to give Jordan Ibe some play time, so we'll bring him in at left wing. And I feel like we need someone in the midfield to change something, so Højbjerg will be coming on for Ward-Prowse. There's a chance all of a sudden, and Boufal playing this one into Højbjerg. He's got a couple options around him, and another pass in the middle. It's Jordan Ibe, just needs a shoot, and Chris Smalling closed him down pretty quickly. We'll finally get a corner kick, though, and maybe we can convert on one of these chances. I see Virgil van Dijk, and we'll do a driven one to him if he can set himself up to succeed, it goes out for another. So we'll try a different tactic this time. Just loft it in and hope that someone can get on it. Ruben Semato's in there, along with a couple other players, but it will fall back out to Volland. And Jordan Ibe playing it over to Boufal. Run into the byline. You know I'm going to Berber spin from here. He'll play it again inside. Still holding on to possession. And I don't know why Kovalenko went with the dummy, but he's still with it. Using some shielding. And just trying to find a little bit of a window to fire off a shot. And eventually tackled by Paul Pogba. We'll get one more change in the 67th minute. And I'm honestly stumped on who will provide the chance for us. I think we give it to the young kid in Thierry Ambrose. He scored so many goals toward the end of matches last season, so we'll give him a chance in this one, and if he can get the equalizer or even the winner today, man, he's going to deserve more playtime. But just before being subbed off, it's Jordan Ibe with the chance. He'll finish that one on the near post, and speaking of debuts, it's Jordan Ibe who gets the goal in this one, and maybe we can look to get the winner now. We've got Thierry Ambrose coming on, and these young players have a lot of confidence, and they want to prove that they can be starters. Defensive errors led to both goals in this match, so I think a draw is a very fair result, and in terms of the man of the match, it went to a Manchester United player in Anthony Martial. But guys, that will wrap things up for today's episode of the Southampton Career Mode. We'll hop on over to the EuroLeague in the next episode, so if you guys are excited for that, go ahead and leave a like down below. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you guys again soon.